Hi, I'm Manny, and it's been a while since I uploaded a video, even though I've had this on the back burner for a while. It's just that it's kind of hard to find time to record. Well, it's kind of hard to find time where it's ideal to record because, other people live here, we have neighbors, and people be making noise. But I'm back and I'm coloring in. Well, I've been experimenting with so many different coloring styles and coloring methods because I just haven't achieved a workflow that gives me the expediency I want with the results I want. I want a reasonable amount of investment and effort for a good turnout in terms of a rendered look, but to still keep that kind of scribbly texture of the initial pencil shading. But I think I'm getting I don't want to be conclusive because being conclusive is the easiest way to have to eat my words later. So I will say that this method is a little bit better than the last one, where I just basically just scribble. I set the grayscale shading to brightness, and then I just scribble under. No, yeah, I scribble underneath that, and the shading still affects, but the color is what decides the hues of all the shading. So that's what I've got going on here, and I'm mostly just scribbling and experimenting. I don't necessarily know exactly in what way I want this to turn out because my mind's eye is blind. I don't see stuff in my mind. What's on the canvas is basically what I'm thinking. Uh I can think in terms of words, but I can't really see stuff in my head. So I just basically look at the canvas and think, does that look good to me? No, then just keep messing around with it until it looks fine. So another tricky thing is that I really should start using the actual swatches, like the feature in Clip Studio where you can keep a sort of tab of all the colors you've been using, because in order to remain consistent with the tones I'm using on the body, I've had to turn off the grayscale layer, go to the raw pencil color scribbling, and then color pick from that so I can keep using it because I'm constantly changing hues and experimenting with what color looks good where. Because the reason I'm using so much pink on the body is because obviously the body has blood. You have blood under your skin. So a lot of that is going to show in this sort of pinkish reddish hue, but I don't want it to be too much that it clashes with the rest of her body, which is very pale. And I should say that a big thing that's also perpetuating this whole cycle of experimenting with a color method, don't like how it looks, try another one, and I never actually finish anything and keep a consistent look, is that it's that old saying that comparison is the thief of joy. Like in a bubble, what I make is good enough. Even if it was just black and white, no colors, no rendering, it would still be good enough. But as a lover of art, I obviously watch other artists work and do their thing, and I watch what they post, and it bothers me. It shouldn't. I know logically that it shouldn't, but it bothers me that, oh, they have such a consistency in their work, and they're constantly posting and they're constantly making things and they're constantly releasing these beautiful rendered pieces, and what the hell am I doing? Realistically speaking, I shouldn't give a fuck. I should just be happy making what I'm making. But unfortunately, that's not we live in a world where comparison is a really big thing. And I don't really blame it on any artist who is over themselves trying to reach a goal that is based on somebody else's idea of success, talent, or good output, instead of just realizing your own wish to express something that is purely from you and by you. But I hope I'm getting to a point where I can just make stuff, and however it'll look, I'll be pleased with it, and I'll just put it out there and be like, yeah, that's enough. That's good enough. It's fine. So hopefully this is a big step in doing that. And continuing on with this particular coloring method, another thing I was thinking, oh my God, looking back at how I did the hand, I actually really like how that looks, because the parts where the skin in the hand kind of goes a little bit lower than the raised parts of the top of the palm, it looks so good. Like it didn't look that way to me when I was actually working on it. I was thinking I'm gonna have to go over this, but I actually really like how that looks. And that's another good thing about making these videos, is giving it another once over, getting a fresh pair of eyes. Well, my fresh pair of eyes, looking at it and being like, that actually does look pretty good. So, I mean, hopefully I'll be like, it's good enough. I like this direction. Let's keep making more stuff like this. I've also been thinking of maybe making another one of these like speed like art yap videos, where what I do is just practice instead of trying to work on a fully finished piece. Like, it's just an idea. I'm not committing to anything, because the quickest way to make me not do something is for me to verbally say that I'm going to do it. So I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but an idea that would be on the table, it would be like just me like practicing, like not necessarily doing a finished piece like this. But again, I feel that my output has been so lacking in quantity. Like, I look at my body of work and it's so like small. I want to extend it, so I might just keep, grinding away at that until I have like a consistent, like solid backlog of work that I can point to and go, hey, look, I made all of this. So it's a balance, right? You have to balance quantity and quality. Although there is a saying that I once heard Harry Partridge, who is a YouTube animator, quote somebody who said that quantity has a quality of its own. Like, there is power in just a sheer amount of work. And there's that famous study about the people like making like vases, that the people who made the most vases got better at it, more than the people who just worked on one vase. Anyway, I'm getting to the end here, so thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and have a good one. See you in the next one.